ba ba da ba is the sound that somebody's phone makes. Whose is it? Is it yours?
It is the sound that my phone makes. Yes, that's correct.
Well, in case this actually is successfully recording and streaming at the same time, which, why would it? Why would anything good ever happen?
It's not gonna work. Things don't work.
But if it is, I would like to say, welcome to the very first episode of Can We Keep It? With your hosts, the Madhat Kat and...
Mollancholy.
Madhat Kat and Mollancholy. So, this is what we've been trying to work on for 3 weeks?
Like, a year and a half.
I mean, it's basically ever since we met, but like gotten equipment, a microphone, and been researching
Yes, we've been
software.
amping up to it. We've been working very hard at trying to turn this into a thing, and botched sleeping schedules, and too many ideas in one brain, in the brain kitchen. You know, a lot of things have gotten in the way. But
Too many brains in the kitchen.
Yeah, but we're finally making it work.
Those brains don't belong in the kitchen. They belong in the lab, in jars, on the shelf.
Unless you're a cannibal. And then brains do belong in your kitchen.
That's true. You know what? You have a point.
Thank you.
And that's actually a good little teaser for what's to come, because and I'd like to real quick just say what gave us the idea for the name. Can we keep it?
It's working. Sorry, I just saw.
I just saw it too. I literally just clicked it on my laptop.
Oh, I need to turn it down.
Oh
Sorry. No! We're very new.
We're so
to these
new.
Things, you see.
Hashtag YouTuber newbie.
YouTube babies. Okay.
YouTube babies.
All right, I'm gonna tweet this.
Oh.
I just learned how to tweet recently
with your social media skills.
I know it's a
I put up a notice on the Instagram.
Ooh.
Or IG, as the kids are calling it.
Is that what they're calling it?
Well, I see people posting in things like, "Oh, well, what's your IG?" I'm like, what's my IG?
Oh, I thought it said LG the first time someone asked me that on a stream. I was like, what's my LG? What is my longest garden? What is my...
I know LG from, like, some certain acronyms that aren't necessarily G-rated.
Yes.
I mean, they can be, but anyway, where we came up with this name, we're trying to think of something that kind of epitomizes, captures the essence of Molly's and my time together, and the things that we talk about, and just our general attitude toward life. Mm-hmm. And that is, how did you say it? You said we're squeers. That's who we are.
Squeers. That would be a word that I would use.
And we both have our really hardcore passions. Molly's include, but are not limited to, horror, the genre, and video games. And I have too many to name, but I'm sure we'll cover some of them. One of them tonight that we'll be covering is Disney. Yes. By the way, if there are like 3 people who have been watching us on the PlayStation Playroom, who we've been kind of touting this to. Oh yes, we will do the thing, and they've been getting excited about it. And thank you guys so much for being patient and wonderful. And if you're not here, because, you know, it is, like I said, there were hiccups, and we did not get to start at 7:30 like we wanted to, but you can watch it later and enjoy all the good times then. I keep hashtag Story Octopus, and if you're new to us, you will become familiar with that hashtag Story Octopus, where the name came from.
Yeah, but see, we can't now. We can't do the thing that we do on the Playroom, because when you have a
swaggle our arms.
When you have a hashtag Story Octopus, you have to really kind of invoke the spirit of an octopus, or it just kind of loses a lot of its luster.
I suppose we could kind of bring our faces back and forth. Like back
hashtag Story Octopus.
We'll figure it out. We'll see how that turned out later.
That's not a thing we do every goddamn day of our lives.
Story Octopus.
That will be so sad.
But yes, so Molly and I, we love a lot of things, and we get genuinely excited about stuff when we find it, and that could be television shows, that could be cartoons, which I guess could also be a television show. But you know, I'm a huge animation fanatic. That goes for movies, that goes for television programs. I love animation so much. I love it so much that I rarely see commercials on Hulu, because you know what? They don't have commercials on children's programming. So yeah, that's what's good about my life.
I actually didn't know that they're ad-free for kids. I wonder...
Well, for children's programming. Now, if
That's
you watch,
really
like,
nice,
Venture
though.
Brothers or something, which is an animated program, but definitely not for children.
Right. Wait, Venture
that-
Brothers
that
isn't
is-
for kids? Come on, if Brock Sampson is not, like, essentially
yeah.
a poster child for the youth of
Look,
today...
I don't really want to be getting involved with any of this.
No, that's really... I think that's really nice. This has nothing to do with Disney, but I just didn't know that, and I think it's really nice that they go ad-free for kids, because, I mean, that sort of thing for my generation growing up in, like...
The whole point of cartoons was to sell toys.
Exactly. I mean, Saturday morning cartoons back in the late 80s when I was a kid, early 90s, the whole purpose of those blocks of really wonderful, and charming TV shows was to run ads for toys that we could then torment our parents over.
Mommy, I need the thing!
Like, if I don't have this new Nerf gun, I'm gonna
die.
hold my breath until I stop living. But I saw the commercial for the Nerf gun after X-Men, Mom. Like, I really need this because the
man.
X-Men told me to need it.
I would listen to anything they say. Just sidetrack real quick. I love the theme song of that cartoon so much.
As do I. No, it was amazing. And it's a big part of why I wasn't a huge fan. And wait, doesn't Disney own Marvel now?
They do.
Is this actually a Disney relevant conversation to talk about X-Men?
Oh god, actually, it may be.
It is. I think
it's all in the same thing.
Because I was about to be
Star
like, well,
Wars,
this isn't about Disney either. But then I'm like, wait a minute, they own Marvel.
It was DC that they just recently purchased, or at least DC Studios. They purchased part of it because
What? Disney owns DC? I thought it was Marvel.
God dang it! I don't know. It was what? No, you're right. It is Marvel.
Yeah,
and
Deadpool
that's
is
good.
a Disney character now. I remember it because I saw a meme with him in the dress.
Yeah,
I can't remember which of the Disney films it was. Anyway, the point that I was
should
making,
be.
and I hope I'm not being too loud because we know that I can do that.
Well, that's why I was actually putting it. You can't see it because this is an audio-only podcast for the moment.
Yeah. I enjoy the
I'm trying to
audio-only
connect
podcast.
my Bluetooth headphones so I can check our volume as we speak.
Okay.
But while I do that, you can make the point that you wanted to make.
Oh, was I making a point?
I definitely believe you were.
I might have been.
I know you were.
Oh, no, I was saying that, something about the X-Men.
X-Men
Oh, that was a big part
toys.
of why, and you were talking
Disney.
when you were explaining sort of where we came up with the name for the podcast and
Yes.
who we are a little bit, which I think, like I said, like, we are very new to all of this. And this is the first time that we've ever even actually recorded an episode of a podcast officially.
That wasn't via the PlayStation cam.
I think that it was really accurate to describe us as people who just love to love things. I mean, there are a lot of things in our lives that we love. There
was a name being thrown around like For the Love of Everything or something like that. But
yeah.
It wasn't quite right.
But it's not... I also hate a lot of things. And I think that's
true.
Also, to be fair, because...
We're artists. We feel very strongly and have hard opinions about things.
And X-Men was always something that the live-action X-Men films, which I can appreciate for a multitude of reasons, where I always had a very big problem with because I grew up on the Saturday morning cartoon version of X-Men, which I know particularly purists, huge fans of the comic book series dating all the way back to its inception, would murder me for saying that the Saturday morning cartoon version of X-Men was my favorite, but it was, and it started with that theme song. I mean, when I was little, there were so many great theme songs anyway in the early 90s.
75% of why you watch the show.
Oh, it's true. Or just opening credit sequences in general.
If you miss it, it's like, well, do I really want to bother at this point?
Right? Well, but see, this all ties back into Disney, though, because what is it about? It's like going back to Frozen, what we were talking about with Frozen. For me, I hate Frozen, but I love the music from Frozen.
Yep.
And having her let it go before I ever saw the film, I was like, okay, I'm in this. I'm going to have to sit down and watch this movie.
Well, I'm glad that's how it went then.
Yeah, me too.
I have so many problems with the darn movie. And I almost said damn, but then I'm like, wait, why am I censoring myself? This is my show and your show. It is our show.
It is.
We can swear if we want to.
Which, by the way, we have a couple of
your
viewers.
censors behind.
We have a couple of viewers. We have Matt has joined us, Airstriker 23, and then Ellen Media.
Welcome, viewers.
Ellen Media
listeners,
says that they like
both.
the X-Men cartoon.
Sweet. I'm glad that you're on top of comments right now.
I'll stick with chat.
Thanks for hanging in here, guys, while we
get started. This will be a little bit...
figure out all this newfangled technology.
Yeah, I think it'll move a little bit more quickly the next time that
but next time, I think it's, like, every time we've done this, and this is the fourth thing we've done?
Yeah, we did 3 podcasts in the Playroom, and this is our first, sort of, like, trying to do a little bit more of, like, an actual podcast thing.
Yeah.
So 4 times.
Yeah, less of a Playroom hangout and more of a podcast. And
hello, media.
Every time we've done it, I feel like we've gone leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah, well,
each time.
I think that's good. That's what you want.
That's what you want.
You don't want to regress like Disney. Sorry, I had something in my throat.
Has Disney regressed?
Oh man.
So the question that we have given the episode title is: Did Disney ruin our lives? That is something that we would like to explore this evening, and something that I think we probably explore at least a little bit almost every time we see each other.
It's true.
It has been so since the day we met.
Absolutely. For years, Kat and I have been sort of taking our relationships as individuals with Disney and opening them up and examining them. It's sort of like an ongoing autopsy of our relationships with Disney.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the short answer to that, what you were saying before we started recording, actually, that the short answer is that no, absolutely not. Disney has not ruined our lives.
If it was, would we really be taking the time to devote a whole podcast to it?
I don't think so. No,
or at least a podcast episode, because the podcast, Can We Keep It, is going to be exploring a lot of different topics.
Well, because I didn't mean to type your name as Siege, by the way, Siege. I meant to just say Siege, but I can't type, which is why I probably shouldn't be manning the comments. But hi, Siege.
How's it going?
And we were talking too. Something we were discussing right before we started recording was the concept of cute aggression, and I think
cute aggression. And actually, do I have that pulled up and?
I think that is I think it ties in very well, very smoothly to Disney in general and what kind of keeps us as adults, not just watching Disney movies, but both hating and loving Disney films, thinking about them when we're not watching them, why Disney is ever like a sort of like a deeply rooted part of who we are as human beings. I think cute aggression has a lot to do with that.
And this is decades later. Mm-hmm. It's still such a fundamental part of our being.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, it really is.
And not just like us within ourselves, but the way, and not just how you and I interact, but how we interact with everybody else around us and everybody that we meet.
It has had a huge influence on who we are and continues to have an enigmatic influence over who we are as well. Like that's the thing I don't understand about it. Like, why am I still thinking about Beauty and the Beast at 34?
And why am I still so upset about it?
I'm still so upset about Beauty and the Beast. But I love it.
How does it have this hold on me?
Hey, what is up? All right, Media has a comment.
What would Media like to say?
Media says favorite Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast. So that's great because we could start out by talking about Beauty and the Beast.
Quick question, Media. Are we talking classic animated Beauty and the Beast?
I wouldn't know how to talk to someone whose favorite Beauty and the Beast movie was the new live action version.
91. It was 91. Back in 91, and then I still have yet to watch the live action. Actually, that's funny though. Was that why he just said Beauty and the Beast?
Well, no, because I was talking about it.
Because it was on about it?
No, because I was talking about it. We have a Disney song playlist going on mute on the television behind us to kind of, help us. Yeah, inspiration. Get us in the mood. And Beauty and the Beast, actually, the song Beauty and the Beast is the one that's playing right now. So I think Kat thought that maybe you had gotten
Angela
psychic
Lansbury.
Media. And Media also says that our stream placeholder picture is cute.
Aw, thanks. I'm glad that it's working.
Yeah.
And if ever the audio starts to get too loud or too quiet, do let us know, because we will take that into account.
Yes.
For hopefully this and future episodes.
We are. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
What would you like to say about Beauty and the Beast?
Animated, yes, media says. Oh, I get to go. Can I, do I really get to go first?
I love to hear what you have to say. It never gets old.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad it never gets old because you've been listening to me talk about Beauty and the Beast for years. Beauty and the Beast media is also my favorite Disney film. It's been my favorite Disney film since the day I saw it. I think I was 9 when it was released. I didn't get to see it in the theater, unfortunately, but I remember my mom buying me the bubble case, the bubble case VHS copy, like right after it hit shelves. And I still to this day...
VHS memories.
I know! Hashtag VHS memories. But Steve says I'm holding my Gundam and listening to your podcast. That's awesome.
He's holding the what?
He's holding his Gundam. That's a good state to be in. But no, I love it, and I still. It's been what I was 9 when I saw it for the first time. I'm 34 now. I mean,
can we do math?
Somebody else is going to need to do the math on that, but it's just been a very long time.
I have a calculator.
25 years, and thank you, John. And I still watch it. To this day, like I watch it when I'm having, I have a severe generalized anxiety disorder and flip-flopping, varying degrees of agoraphobia. Mostly it's like semi-functional, but my anxiety in short is pretty bad. And whenever I'm having like a really bad day with my anxiety, Beauty and the Beast is like the only thing that can calm me down. So much so that when I was in behavioral therapy a couple years ago, my therapist actually advised me to recite the opening monologue from Beauty and the Beast when I was in the throes of a panic attack to bring me down from it, and it works. Beauty and the Beast... One of
my favorite things to do with you is to be able to recite that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things ever written. Well, and
twinkle, twinkle.
I know, and one of the things that I think is so calming about it is that it does have that very classic storytelling feel. Mm-hmm. It has the language and the tone of a classic story.
And the pacing of it.
Yeah, in a way that stories, in my opinion, most stories particularly, not just the ones that Disney tells, but a lot of the fairy tales that we see today, none of it really has, a lot of them don't have that same sort of classic, sit down, children, long ago, in a land far away. Let us
tell you a tale.
Yeah, where the narrator is actually telling you from the beginning, we are going to take you away from yourself to someplace else. And
it's very Greek.
It is very Greek. I completely agree with that. And I think that's one of the things that makes it a great story, is that it has these roots in classic literature, but it also has dancing teapots. Yay! Which you gotta love the dancing teapots. My problem, however, okay, so here's
as played by Angela Lansbury.
I know. But oh yeah, media says that they've seen it in both French and English. Oh, I also love the French live-action version of Beauty and the Beast. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, really. I mean, it has something to do, but... I want to
get that in my face,
oh my God,
it's
Vincent Cassel plays, or Vincent Cassel, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he plays the Beast. He's an amazing actor. He was in History of Violence, and Irreversible. He was in just some really just fantastic films, and he plays the Beast in the French live-action version. And Steve says, Animal Hamlet is my favorite Disney movie.
Lion King.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
I was like, look at your shirt.
I know, I'm wearing a Lion King sweater.
I'll put it in, I'll get it in post. I'll get the sweatshirt in post.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that someday we will have another Disney related.
Oh, I'm sure. We could have a whole podcast just about Beauty and the Beast. Let's face it.
Let's be honest here. So with all the adaptations and all of the books and the films and the plays and the fan art, oh my God! Well, we could talk about the fan art.
We could, but it lasts and lives on forever, and that's, I think, a sign of its classic literature roots as well, or it's indicative of those. But the thing about Beauty and the Beast, I love it for multiple reasons, and I'm not going to go into them too much because this is Kat's channel and this is Kat's subject, so like.
But it's also our podcast.
That's true. But I do love, what I love about it is I love that it was really the first Disney film that I ever saw that presented a quote-unquote Disney princess who was in no way a Disney princess. I mean, yes, she was classically beautiful, and she had that lark, that voice of the lark, that songbird voice. But she was a poor girl from a humble family in a single-parent household with a kooky father who felt like a complete and utter outcast, not because of some, abuse she was suffering at the hands of her wicked stepmother or some queen that wanted to take her down.
She was just odd.
She was just odd, and she was misunderstood because she
Where'd you get an idea like that?
There's no one I can really talk to. She just, felt out of place, and I identified that with that as a young girl, as I think many of us did. I also really loved that she was a fan of bettering her mind through books, and that was seen as odd through the eyes of the masses, which I think is a theme that can sort of be reworked in a multitude of ways, but also always remain relevant. I love that she wasn't a princess. I love that she was a little hot-headed and kind of, she had her own mind about her, but she also respected her father, unlike Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Here we go again.
I know, we won't get into that yet. Belle wasn't a brat. She was a good woman, and I don't know, I loved it. She embodied to me the spirit of a true independent woman, but a good one with a good heart. And I love that a lot. And I like the story itself in general. I love the character of Gaston. I think he's one of the best villains they've ever written. And I like the Beast as well. And I like that they give you time to believe that Belle actually developed respect and admiration and love for the Beast, because it doesn't all happen in a week. I like that it takes time for them to get to know one another. It's a little more realistic. Completely deviates from the original story, but it's a little bit more realistic.
I'm a fan.
Before I talk about the things I hate about it, though, what do you like about Beauty and the Beast, Kat?
What do I like about Beauty and the Beast? Pardon my flipping around on the screen there. I was trying to locate just a Beauty and the Beast picture slideshow, but the one that I found was just full of pop-ups, and I'm like, well, that just completely defeats the purpose. Had I used somebody else's slideshow on YouTube or something, I would have thrown their names in the credits. But we're just going to go back to the standby image of our cute faces. What do I like about Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, what do you like about Beauty and the Beast?
Along with that classic opening, I do understand why they eventually went away from that, because there are so many movies in Disney's early history, and by early I mean from the 40s up until the 90s, where that's how they opened, either with an actual live-action storybook that, kind of swooped in, and you had big flourishy text, Jungle Book, Sword in the Stone. I did enjoy that, but I do understand how they're we've done it before. This has all happened before. And it will all happen again. But this time, it happened in Iowa. Sorry. No, sorry. They don't, that's not it. They don't use a book opening in Peter Pan, but that was from Peter Pan. In addition to that classic style opening, the animation really had a lot of kind of new, unique things. And Beauty and the Beast was part of that Disney Renaissance.
Well, wasn't that the first Disney film to actually include CGI? I think they used it for the floor.
I think so. Oh, yeah. The whole ballroom.
Yeah, that was all CGI, and they'd never done that before, right?
And just thinking back to, what year it was, and then, looking at other CGI in other movies, and you go, ugh. But for some reason, in that movie, it didn't look super awkward and out of place. That giant chandelier, it looked appropriate.
Yes.
It looked appropriately sleek and shiny, which can be a problem with CGI just because of the nature of that style of animation.
Hello, Sithwax. Hello, Lame. I'm sorry about your brain, Lame.
Why is your brain lame?
He sneezed and part of it came out.
Oh, no. Well, put it back in. You've got several orifices that might make that possible.
But anyway.
But it looked appropriate for that fantasy setting. And also, it helped it look like, yes, big, giant castle. I was a prince once. I wasn't always this disgusting beast that you see before you. Or not disgusting, hideous beast. And there was a powerful spell on the castle. And all who lived there.
Which is fucked up, by the way. That's
what the hell did they do?
Yeah, now we're gonna get into like we're straying into territory of the things to hate about Beauty and the Beast. So we'll
what do? We hold up our fingers in the shape of letters to remember our thoughts. We can also write them down.
F for fucked up. I'm doing an F for fucked up.
And I'll come back to that. But if any of you have ever seen the Christmas sequel to Beauty and the Beast, I actually like it. Like, it's not amazing cinema or anything, but it's one of those things, like, I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. There's no secret of the wings either.
No. Kat really wants us to get into that conversation.
So other things that I like. Music is good, obviously. Also, the voice casting, I think, is really fantastic in that movie. The fellow who plays Gaston, I actually met him once. I'm trying to remember his name. No, I mean the classic one, not the live action one. I'm like, Lou Evans, that's not who I met. His last name is White, but he's an opera singer, and I met him down in Florida when I went to go see La Cage aux Folles, and he was playing one of the main characters. Come on now. Gaston is like a major character. He shouldn't come after Bimbette 1. Richard White.
Bimbette 1.
That's what it says.
There's a role.
Damn Google.
Oh god, that reminds me, the blondes. Oh fuck, the live action, they ruined the blondes.
It's a dreaming.
Gaston.
Yes, Richard.
Oh, he's so cute.
Richard White. Since when does he sport a mustache? Anyway, so he played Gaston. He has the dreamiest of voices, and every time he got to a big tremolo in La Cage aux Folles, I would just go Gaston. Oh
my goodness, yeah.
But I mean, there were so many other people. What was it? The asylum keeper. What do we call him? You had David Ogden Stiers playing Cogsworth. And of course, Angela Lansbury playing Mrs. Potts.
Oh,
and
not to get off topic, but Lame Gamer just asked if we had seen Monster in Paris.
Oh my god, yes!
Yes, I saw it and I loved it so much. Holy shit! Yeah, we are big.
Did you
Monster
introduce
in Paris
that
fans.
to me?
I did.
Oh my god!
But it was by accident. Like, I introduced it to you not long after I discovered it. We were still roommates at the time, and it was on Netflix, and I was like, what is this now? And then the next thing you know...
I've died.
Yeah.
I've died.
It was incredible.
I'm lying on the table and I've died.
She has died. Wake up. Yeah, I want you to live and live differently.
That we'll touch on that later. Lame, I really do love A Monster in Paris.
I think it's
and eventually there will be a ukulele video on my channel of La Seine. I think there's actually a little clip. We never I don't know if I ever actually got to finish the video because it was on a phone that died. But I did a little preview. It's really pretty too because it's on. We taped it on the set of Sunday in the Park with George with an alumni friend of mine. And he was on guitar and I was on ukulele and we were singing La Seine. And we were doing just the end bit where okay, so back on track.
It's such a great
Beauty and the Beast, things I love. Fantastic casting choices.
Oh god, yeah, Gaston was he was the stuff of legends. I mean, he is the stuff of Disney legends. There's really no other way to describe the man who played Gaston.
It would be nice if it would just give me, maybe I should just go to Wikipedia. I've lost a lot of faith in IMDb. Their whole website layout just bothers the heck out of me.
Yeah, John and I have had several discussions at length about IMDb, where and what has happened to it. It's really sad.
Here we go.
Maybe. But yeah, and I agree too. The casting was just remarkable. Across the board,
yes,
some
Tony
of the best
J.
casting.
Tony J. I was like, come on, he played Judge Claude Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Which I know that you are not a huge fan of that, but...
What are you talking about?
Wait, who was I talking to that didn't
I
like
don't
Hunchback
know, but it's not me, because I
am
love
so
The Hunchback
sorry.
of Notre Dame.
I was talking to somebody who was saying that it was just because of what a terrible adaptation it is from its
It
source
is.
material.
No, it's nothing like the book.
It isn't, but
it wasn't their goal.
Great movie.
I
love
the
it.
music in that.
Oh, I'm so glad you don't hate that.
Oh my god! I don't know how we could be friends.
I don't know
mean, we
why
probably
I thought
still
you
would
hated
be
it.
because I would be like clinging to you'd be that friend that I stay with because I'm gonna fix you.
And right, because you think that I can be.
She can be so sweet. I know she hates The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but she can be so sweet.
Yeah. Siege says Gaston has also Disney's douchest song. I agree with that.
Oh my god, but it's so good.
It's so good. And I saw some fan art actually. This was last year. It was probably one of, I wish I had it queued up so I could show it to you guys. But
he really is just a good villain.
Yeah, he really is. And there was this artist on DeviantArt who created a series of fan art pieces. It was called Disney Villains on a Good Day. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And it was just all of these portraits of different Disney villains getting their way, getting everything that they wanted in
I was going to say, on whose
films.
good day? On the psychiatrist that they see 3 times a week?
Yeah, no.
On a good day, they're like,
day.
you know, I'm not feeling like I need to take over King Triton's kingdom. I'm feeling okay today, and I'm doing something different with my hair.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been also great.
I've gotten over the loss of my
quite
poopsies.
Different. No, because like Gaston's is here. I'm gonna stand up for this, so you guys can't see it, but I'm gonna show Kat. Like Gaston's was him standing like this in what you can only assume is like a wall of the tavern. Or maybe his living room behind him. You can't really tell.
Is there antlers in all of the decorating?
There are antlers above him, and but no, it's actually the beast's head that is framed above him. It's been nailed to a board, and he's going like this. He's so proud.
I win.
Behind him are like 10 pictures, framed pictures of him and Belle and their like 5 children.
And she's just like.
Yeah, and she's just and it's
quiet, subservient little wifey.
I love
rubbing his feet.
That picture. I want a poster of that picture because it's perfect. It's Gaston getting everything he wants. And he is one of the douchiest characters in the history of Beauty and the Beast, but that's what makes him such a good villain.
So good.
Oh man, he's great.
Well, and he's a villain that most people love. Like he's not like, oh, the sea witch, nobody goes there because we know that she's evil.
Right, no, he's the villain that is everyone.
He's the town hero.
Everywhere. He is, and that is, I
like I said, I haven't seen the live action Beauty and the Beast yet, but I did like that that's kind of where they went with it. Like, he was a hero in the war, and he's got kind of a weird PTSD thing going on.
Yeah, and he was...
I think that's an interesting way...
I don't want to talk too much about the live action because...
we haven't seen it.
Well, and I've seen it, and
seen it.
I did not watch the entire thing. I could not get through it. It was, to me...
Auto-tune.
As soon as I heard the auto-tune on Emma Watson's voice, and then you couple that with a couple of the dialogue, at least in the beginning of the film, they made some arbitrary changes to the opening story, for one thing, which we were talking about what a fantastic opening story that is.
Yeah.
They made some arbitrary changes, and then the dialogue was really weak and weird, and then I also really just I hated the autotune on Emma's voice. I'm like, if she can't hit the notes, cast someone else. I love Emma Watson, I really do.
Well, and she, like, if we're gonna just typecast people, she's a pretty good typecast for Belle.
Absolutely, she is. She has, I think, and
that is not to say that Emma does not have range.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I'm someone who has range in the. No, I think it might be your interwebs. But
it shouldn't be.
No.
No.
Our internet is
well, then what's
pretty awesome. We've got
okay.
It's really
all right. Internet is back.
Okay.
Encoding overloaded. Considering turned down video settings or using a faster encoder preset.
See, we're new to OBS, so that could be.
And then I'm gonna